Good morning, Sari here again. Today I'm going to show you a simple Christmas card made with some of Tim Holtz's distress products. Let's get started then. First off, I'll show you the base for this card. I started off by colouring it in with some antique linen, and I might have also combined it with some scattered straw. And what I did afterwards, I just started crinkling this front page up a little bit, and then I dragged the tea dye over it, and I think that I finished it off with some vintage photo as well, just to highlight the higher parts a little bit. Then I sprayed on some water mixed with some golden perfect pearls, just a little bit of those pearls. Just sprayed it over. I'm not sure if you can see the sparkle there. It's so little so you can't really fathom it with the camera, I think. I just sprayed it all over, and then I used a small travelling iron to just smooth the paper out, and that also makes it dry a little bit quicker. And after that I felt like doing some stamping with that lovely stamp from INKIDO. There's lots of stars on it, as you can see, so I just took a embossing, but this one's called Perfect Medium, and I just stamped it all over and poured some distress embossing powder called Vintage Photo all over it. And when you dry these these distress embossing powders, you should pay attention because they don't show up as the regular embossing powders do. They aren't shiny or so you can exactly see when it's done, but you have to look for a shift of color change to see when it's ready. And afterwards, I think I've actually forgotten to do this. When it has cooled down, you should just rub your finger all over these stars just to make those release particles loosen. And then you've got a piece of paper that actually feels sort of like sandpaper, and I just love this. I mean, this is a fun product to play around with. And then I cut out a piece of paper, just really thin paper, because I bought myself a new set of Martha Stewart punches. These are called double loops, and these go around the page. So you've got the corner punch there, and of course the border punch. What I did realize actually is that the corner punch does go through a bit thicker paper really easily, whilst the border punch doesn't. It gives me sort of a hard time. It works, but it gives me a hard time. What I also discovered was that I couldn't follow those measurements that I got in the leaflet with those punches. It says it should be 3 1/4 of an inch, but if I do it, you see that this is the result. There's something missing here, so I just went for 3 1/16 of an inch. 3 3/16 of an inch, and that made it sort of better, although so it gives me sort of these extra. Can you see that one? If I point it there, there's an extra little bit there, but you can actually take that one when I pretty easily, so I'm not going to be bothered by that. And so I did cut this one in 3 3/16 of an inch, and then this one at 5, and that actually makes it work with an A6 card. So this is what I'm going to put there, and I've prepared this one with some of these double-sided foam tape thingies, just to make it a little bit easier, quicker. I just love this marbled look. It's a bit shame that I'm going to cover it up with this one, but I sort of feel like combining different kinds of products on this card. Yeah, it'll have to do. And then I'm going to put a piece in the middle here, and this is just a note paper from INKIDO. Really pretty, I think. And of course I have prepared that one as well. I have also inked the edges with some vintage photo, just a tiny bit, not too deep or dramatic this time, but I just wanted to make those corners or edges not be that beige or white, so they stood out too much. So here we have that one, and then I used a small punch called God Jul, which means Merry Christmas, and I cut it fairly small, just around the stamp really, and then I used a piece of corrugated paper which comes in this a sort of warm beige brown color, and then I just put a little red string on it, and I'm going to put it down here. And since the red and the white parts are a little bit higher than the bottom part, I have put two pieces of tape there, just to give me a smooth look to it all, like so. And then I did some punching. I showed you these two punches in an earlier video, I think. Or perhaps I didn't actually. I didn't. This one's called Scandinavian Snowflake, and this one's called Icelandic Snowflake, and they're both from Martha Stewart, of course. She makes the best punches, I think. And I started off using a piece of green paper, but I didn't like the color of it, so I just dragged my, sorry for that, ink blending tool, which had some green color on it already, so I'm not sure which color that it is. It's a mixture of different kinds of greens, I suppose. And then I just dragged the paper first before I punched it out. Then I punched it. And I must say that this one actually punches better than this one. I'm not sure why, but if you look at them, they're not built the same way. This one gives you more of a struggle than this one. This one just pops out, and you just have to use a little bit of force, of course. But with this one, it's a little bit tougher, I think. But it works anyway, that's the main thing, I think. And then I punched out the Icelandic in the bottom here, and I punched it out in some brown paper there. And then I mounted these together with a lovely brad there, and I just hit the legs back in the back and put a piece of double-sided tape. And I made these overlap each other so that I will create a sort of a round thing. And then I finished it off by glittering it with some stickles. I think that's mainly it. So I've used a sort of a different kinds of products here. Distress inks and the distress embossing powder, but also the perfect pearls, although these are not they are not distress products. But anyway, I had some fun. I'm getting started making my Christmas cards again, and this is a simple way to do it, actually. I was, surprise, surprise, I was thinking of making use of this funny little Santa or gnome, but I think it's going to be too much, don't you? I mean, of course I'm going to cut it out, but I'm not sure if this one belongs here. But it's so cute, I think that I might do it. So perhaps I should make a vote poll, or what you call it. So you guys could decide on which I should do. Should I leave it as it is, or should I put a gnome in it? And of what color should that gnome be? I mean, I could of course color this one in brown. I could try it out to see if this snow puff reacts to the water if I do some coloring with the distress inks. And I had actually a girl asking me if I could color these with pink and make these look like spun sugar. And in the next comment she said something about making these look like popcorn. Well, she's full of ideas, that girl. I'm signing off right now. Feel free to comment and give me ideas. Otherwise, I'm signing off. And a happy pre-Christmas to you. Bye-bye.